Now, your weather alert forecast.
I'm KMTV Weather Alert meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin. We still have the ice storm warning in effect until 3 a.m. Tuesday morning, area-wide for eastern Nebraska, even over the southern half of the state, crossing over into Kansas and the western half of Iowa. So the potential that we will see ice accumulation is beginning to increase. We also have a winter storm warning off to the west. Norfolk, you're included in this, and the potential that you could maybe see a couple of inches of snow before the system moves through. Current setup right now, stalled out front to the south of us. Warm air to the south of this boundary, cold air to the north. This is what we call an overrunning event. So when you get this kind of moisture in the mid-levels of the atmosphere at about 7,000 feet or so, then it falls down into a colder column of air, and that rain starts to switch over to freezing rain and maybe even mixing from time to time to sleet. So the moisture is really beginning to move in. It's been hanging out down to the south of us. Now we're tapping all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico as it rises up over that cold air at the surface. We'll see that switch over from rain to freezing rain, and it's going to go back and forth, especially throughout the day on Monday as temperatures kind of hovering near freezing or slightly above freezing. But we will see through the overnight hours light freezing rain continuing. Now, the road crews have done a good job in laying down the brine and other solutions that we need to keep the freezing from taking place. But as we're looking at a prolonged event, long duration, that means that we will see several hours, many hours of freezing rain falling. The accumulation will continue not only at the surface, but even above the surface. So the trees, the power lines, eventually ice will start to accumulate. We're looking at this event continuing to impact us not only through the overnight hours, but off and on throughout the day on Monday. Just a steady stream of moisture coming in, and you see the switch over from that rain, freezing rain, to snow back to the west. We will see some light snow moving in, but this is not a snow event for us. Temperatures right now throughout the evening hours hovering right around freezing, so holding steady as we go through about midnight tonight, 10:30 tonight, may drop it down a degree or two, and that means that we will be looking at freezing rain continuing across the area. Maybe a little pocket of warmer air trying to lift in, but I think overall freezing rain is going to be the big thing that we'll be contending with here for the next several hours. This model really pushes in some warmer air by the early morning hours tomorrow. However, I think most of this, because of temperatures hanging out near 31, 30 degrees, that means that it will be falling in the form of freezing rain. And we keep this steady plume of moisture continuing even into the afternoon. You see that switch over to snow back to the west, and we will see some light snow coming in. Here is the current forecast on our ice. It looks to be maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch on ice accumulation across the area. This keeps changing somewhat, but even 1/10 of an inch over time can cause some issues, especially with power outages isolated to maybe even scattered. And again, anything above surface will be glazed with some ice. The European model does a little bit higher amounts, puts in about 1/2 an inch. I think this may be a bit overdone on the icing, but something we will continue to keep providing you with updates and fine-tuning that ice forecast. But right now I'm going with about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. And when you look at that, we're expecting in that disruptive to dangerous area, roads will be icing up, power outages will be possible, kind of isolated across the area, and then you're looking at the tree limbs beginning to sag and break. So this is an event we'll continue to keep providing you with more updates, so keep checking back with us at KMTV.com and also at KMTV. Now, with the chance for some snow in the forecast, you want to download our Snowcast app so you know how much snow will fall in your neighborhood.